Welcome to part 2 of the Google Advanced Searching tutorials. While part 1 covered the Find Pages With section, this tutorial video will cover the Then Narrow Your Results By section, or the filters. And to get started, we'll walk through what each filter does and then run a few sample searches so you can see them in action. Now, the language filter is pretty self-explanatory. It's just like anything where you can choose the language you'd like to find your pages in if you'd like to limit them. Region is a really interesting filter. This lets you choose where a particular web page was published, and this could be really great if you want to see information from a certain place, or maybe see how a certain place perceives something. So for instance, I could open this, maybe I'll choose Russia and look at how Russian newspapers were covering all the debate going on during the Olympics there most recently. Last Update lets you just limit your search to pages that were updated within a certain time frame. Now, it doesn't go super far back, it goes back to the past year, but this can help you if you're looking for really current information or current news coverage and that sort of thing. Site or domain is a very useful filter. So it lets you either limit your results to specific domains, so for instance .gov websites, and that can be really useful if you just want to see government documents, or you could limit to .edu sites if you just want to see academic or education resources, so you have a lot of flexibility and control there. Likewise, what you can do is you can actually limit to one specific site. So if you perhaps are in the Media Psych program and want to just see results from a news outlet, I could limit all of my results to only things that come from NewYorkTimes.com. So this is a really great one, and one you'll probably use a lot when you're doing advanced Google searching. Terms appearing. This is sort of like specifying a search field in a database. So what you can do is say, I'd like to find my search terms anywhere on the page, limit them just to the title, limit just to the text, I want the term to actually appear in the URL of the page, and so on. So this is a nice way to get a little bit more specific and try to get more precise results, particularly when you use things like limiting to the title or the URL. Safe Search is just like what it sounds like. It lets you choose if you want to show the most relevant results or if you want to use some of Google's safety filters. File type. This is another one that you might find really handy. It lets you specify a format for your results. So for instance, if you just want to find some PowerPoint presentations that deal with a topic, you could open this, scroll down, and limit just to these PowerPoint file types. So it doesn't have everything, but you can limit to Word documents, PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheets, PDF files. Those are probably some of the most common ones you'll use. And lastly, usage rights. You can actually click on this link to usage rights for the full explanation, but in short, it can help you find content like images which have licenses that allow you to reuse them. So now let's carry over one of our sample searches from part 1 into this next tutorial and use some of the filters. So as you can see, I've copied over the sample search we did about police violence and its effect on voters in certain locations. And what I've done, you won't probably use all of the filters at once, but in this case what I've done is I've decided to limit just to the New York Times website. So really what I'm trying to do is see how this one newspaper has covered the police violence and its effect on voters in these various cities. And now when I advance search and we get to the results page, it should be very clear to see that all of these results are coming from NewYorkTimes.com. So these are all articles on the New York Times website. And like I said, this is really handy if you're particularly interested in one outlet's coverage, or maybe you're going to compare coverage between multiple outlets, or maybe there's just a site that you really trust and enjoy reading and you just want to read those results instead of having to wade through the others. There's a lot of ways you could use this site or domain filter. And sticking with that example, just to show you another way you could apply these filters, what I've done in this case is I've limited Last Update to the past year, so I want some relatively current information. And then in the site or domain box, I've limited to .org websites. And that's because maybe I'm interested in seeing how nonprofits or sort of specific organizations are viewing and writing about this topic. And so here in advanced search, I can immediately see that I'm getting .org results, and that's perfect. And I can also see these dates: November 5th, 2015, April 27th, 2015. There's one that's 13 hours ago, but they're all meeting my requirement of the past year, and they're all from websites that end in .org. Let's just do one final example, and this time we'll carry over the search we did in the first video about technology in elementary school classrooms. Now you can see in this case what I've done is I limited to English language results, and I've actually chosen my region to be Finland. Now this is because there's a lot of writing about how great the education system in Finland is, and I'm sort of interested in seeing maybe how they approach technology in the classroom. I might want to compare it, I might want to get ideas, but this is a nice way to find pages published in that region. Alright, now here on my results page, what I like to point out is that even though these things are published in Finland, some of them might end in a .com, as well as you'll see others that end in this .fi. So the advanced search is working, just know that the domains might not all look identical. But now here I could look through these results. There's one about pedagogical evaluation of educational technology, a great site with technology lesson plans that looks like it's on a Finland Pinterest page, but I could just sort of scroll through and see this alternate perspective from another region. And that really sums it up. Using Google Advanced Searching is just a matter of choosing the appropriate search boxes and filters to really get in at the results that you want. So just remember to play around with it, see how these different filters affect your results, and hopefully this will be a nice boon to the search skills you already have using library databases and Google Scholar. Thanks for watching.